What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stars Insiders podcast. And on today's episode, I will be previewing this Dallas Cowboys Week 6 matchup against the Carolina Panthers. So, without any further ado, let's get straight to it, man. Alrighty, now to the preview of the game, the actual film watch and preview of this game. And on today's episode, I really won't be going over this Cowboys defense. Well, not really a whole bunch. Cowboys offense against Carolina Panthers defense too much. I kind of want to focus on this Cowboys defense versus this Carolina Panthers offense, which I feel like is going to be a really, really interesting battle. So let's get straight to it, man. I think the Panthers are going to commit to running the football early. We saw how it went last week. Bryce Young started off pretty rough, and then they started to run the football more and more and more, and then that started to open up stuff for Bryce Young and these receivers to start to get active against the Miami Dolphins. But Rico Dowdle had an amazing game. I think that's a huge prop to the offensive line. They didn't run really huge, or not huge, but they didn't run like the craziest concepts of runs. They ran pretty simple plays, and Rico Dowdle just found, all he had to do was just find the hole and just run as fast as possible through that hole. And Miami Dolphins, I feel like, played terrible. They played horrible. I feel like really low effort plays from everybody and really poor tackling. And that's something that we've seen from the Cowboys sort of in the past like 2-3 weeks. Just been the tackling has been quite a bit poor. I think it got better last week against the Jets, but we still need to see more improvements from that department from the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that's one of the biggest things that hurt the Miami Dolphins. So let's watch here this first play here. Rico Dowdle. Let me slow it down first. Again, Rico had an amazing game, but this offense made his job very, very simple. Like I was saying, all you had to do was just find the hole, and then these linebackers played horrible. Like I said, sorry, I didn't go over that play, but if you want to look at the linebackers, look at these guys. They played absolutely terrible. They really had no clue what was going on, and made Rico Dowdle's job again really, really, really easy because he didn't have to do anything. I'm going just kind of trying to skim over these couple of plays because they were pretty similar types of plays. But yeah, Rico Dowdle just ran all over these guys. And again, that's something that's kind of concerning because I don't know, but I feel like they're gonna try to commit to the run here first, and rightfully so because they ran the football extremely well against the Miami Dolphins, and the Cowboys weren't great against the run this past week. They were really good at rushing the passer, but when it came to stopping the run, I feel like we played pretty bad, honestly. We let up a way too many big runs from Breece Hall. I feel like every carry Breece Hall had was like 10 plus yards. If it was a closer game, I feel like Breece Hall would have had like 150 rushing yards or something stupid. So really, again, rightfully so. I feel like these guys are going to try to run the football early and often. So if you can stop these guys from running the football, force Bryce Young to throw the ball, I think you have a really good chance of winning this game. But let's keep going over these plays. And again, look at this offensive line created for Rico Dowdle. He really didn't have to do a whole bunch but just run. Again, huge credits to the offensive line. They played really, really well, but they also played mediocre players. Seiler, what's his name? Zach Seiler or something like that. I don't know who 94 is. I know Jalen Phillips. He isn't great. Bradley Chubb. He isn't great. They played a really bad defensive front and a really bad, really the front seven, which is the linebackers and the defensive line. I feel like they played really, really, really poor football. Now let's keep going through this. Again, this is just Rico Dowdle being able to find the hole, and the linebackers again. I think that was the biggest thing that kind of killed the Dolphins. It's just linebackers were just hitting the wrong holes. They weren't just everybody. It was just really, really poor. And this is one of the big examples of what I was saying with the tackling. They did not want to tackle. It felt like it felt like they didn't want to tackle at all. And I mean, just look at this play. I want y'all to just watch this play and then watch the tackling from the Dolphins and just watch Rico Dowdle just run through these guys. That's what, like 5-6 guys there that couldn't tackle him. And then there was 21 that couldn't tackle him. They had to. I mean, this is just horrible. This is just horrible play from this defense. Bang, 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 and I mean, props to Rico Dowdle. I mean, he had an amazing game. Let's watch this. It was a 53-yard run here from Rico Dowdle. Again, just this is kind of like, I think this is the crack toss type of play here. They do a really good job here of blocking. The right tackle goes out there, lays a really good block on. I think that's Willie Gay Jr. And then these guys up the field, they do a really good job of blocking up this fucking linebacker. And then Rico Dowdle just has to run, Rico. It might get just really scary for this Cowboys defense. If you play as poorly as you did last week against the run, this is another huge game for Rico Dowdle. I hope they kind of game plan better, and game plan for the run, because I feel like that's going to be one of the big things for this Cowboys defense. Is just going to be stopping the run. If they can stop the run and they can force Bryce Young to throw the football, I think we have a pretty good chance of winning this game. So now let's move on to this next point here I got. Alrighty. Now moving on to Bryce Young and this receiver core. Bryce Young is a really weird quarterback because he'll have a bunch of really horrible, like terrible plays that be just floating passes, throwing really bad picks, fumbling the football, getting sacked. And then he'll have just the most insane and most craziest plays, just like those flashes of Alabama Bryce Young. And we saw, I think, a whole bunch of that this week. Like, here we go with this first play. This was just a deep pass that was intended to go to Xavier Legette here. And actually, I don't know if this is I'm going to go with this sideline view instead so I can show y'all. So here we go. Like, he's just really inconsistent. But when he gets consistent, when he gets going, he is really good. And I'll show y'all that too. Bryce Young, here we go. He's going to try to hit Xavier Legette here on this deep crosser type of play here. And then he just, first off, the way he threw that football, he kind of like stepped into it and kind of like jumped-ish a little bit there. But he just floated it, and then it got picked off there from Minka Fitzpatrick. Just a horrible ball right there to Xavier Legette. And maybe if that was T-Mac, he would have probably gone up and caught that. But he had his guy wide open, and he just couldn't get him the football there. Again, just floating that football. Just a really bad play, honestly. And then, not right after that, let me see, where is this play? Right here. Like, this is the type of stuff I'll be saying, because you'll see him, like, float those types of passes like that. He'll just throw just the goofiest type of ball, or, like, do the most goofy play ever. And then you'll see them do type of shit like this. Then this is the type of stuff that also kind of scares me a little bit, because I feel like we haven't been. Actually, I can't even say that. I was going to say we haven't been great against the running quarterbacks and kind of like these scrambling types of quarterbacks, but I feel like we've been pretty decent. But Bryce Young's a different type of running quarterback. I feel like he's completely different to like um, Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts. You can kind of compare him a little bit to Jordan Love, the way he kind of like runs out and then just makes the most retarded passes ever. But here we go with this play. Just watch this. Just watch Bryce Young just be Houdini here and just pull this play out of his ass. He just runs out here. He stops there, comes back, and boom. And that is such a good play from Bryce Young. That is a really good play here from Bryce Young. Stops there and then oop and bang. And that's again a really good play there from Bryce Young. We see him do the type of stuff like that, and then he'll throw these types of passes like this touchdown right here. This touchdown was beautiful. This was one of the best. This was just a gorgeous ball here thrown from Bryce Young. Kind of want to slow it down here just so you can see how good of a football this was. How this is elite ball placement here from Bryce Young. It's going to Xavier Legette up here on top of the screen. Supposed to be kind of like a fade ball here, and then he just drops it. That's a really good play there from both of the guys, both from Bryce Young and Xavier Legette. Bryce Young just puts it right on the money, and then just a really good play there from Legette. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over there with Bryce Young. He's really consistent. He's really inconsistent because again he'll make really poor decisions, and then he'll pull out just the most craziest types of plays. So it should be a very, very interesting game. I feel like it's going to be a closer game than expected. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near like the Jets domination we had. But it should be a very, very interesting game defensively for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, moving on. So going with this defensive theme here, I just want to go over this, how good of a pass rush we had last week. I feel like if we can replicate this again, and then just keep applying pressure on Bryce Young, just keep on applying pressure, just play after play after play. If he can replicate this type of pass rush, I think you can force Bryce Young into making those types of errant decisions, those errant throws, just making those poor plays. And a bunch of those not a bunch of those, but some of those plays do come from him being pressured and having to do a whole bunch. But a bunch of his really good plays also come from him having to do a whole bunch, like running outside the pocket and then just delivering to his receivers. But I want to go over this pass rush. This pass rush was absolutely just gorgeous from the Dallas Cowboys this past week against the Jets. I want you to watch here. James Houston, it was a James Houston and Kenny Clark sack here, but I think the guy that kind of caused this sack here, was also Digizua, because he pushed the center kind of into Justin Fields' face, and then Kenny Clark just loops around and gets to Justin Fields, and so does James Houston. A really good play there, I feel like, from the defense. And this one right here. And let me tell about this one right here. Brother. Here we see Mr. Sam Williams, and we see James Houston on the left side of the defensive line. Just watch here. Sam Williams against his right guard, and then you're going to see James Houston here against Armand Membu. Just watch this player here. Bang. Bang. That is I mean, that's just really good, really good to see here from the defensive line, because we really haven't seen the defensive line be this good the entire season. They've shown a couple of flashes here and there, but this was the best game the defensive line has played this season by far. Again, just Sam Williams just winning very, very easily here, and then so is James Houston. James Houston needs to get more playing time, man. James Houston needs to get so much more playing time. He is really, really, really good. Let's watch this one from Dante Fowler as well. Dante Fowler had himself a game in this game too. He created a couple pressures. I think he only had a sack, but he balled out as well. Watch Dante Fowler here. Just he just runs over Breece Hall there, and then he just gets to the quarterback. This is the easiest sack he'll ever have. Really, really good play there. This is Dak Prescott getting sacked. No, not Dak Prescott. So, with all that being said, it's gonna be a very, very, very weird game. I feel like I honestly don't know how to predict this game because I feel like Bryce Young is really talented. He has really good pieces around him. He has a really good running back with him. He has a pretty decent offensive line with him. But we also saw the defense of the Dallas Cowboys play their best game of the season yet this past week against the Jets. So, again, I really don't know how to predict this game, how it's going to go. But I think the thing still here is just going to be contain the run, stop the run, put points on the board early, make the Panthers play from behind so they don't have to run the football, and then put the ball in Bryce Young's hands, and then put pressure on him, and then just kind of force him to make those poor plays there. I think that's going to be the key. I think the key of this game is going to be the Cowboys defense, and we're going to have to buckle up, brother, because Rico Dowdle is coming after us, he said. So it should be a fun game. It should be a really, really fun game. And again, I feel like it's going to be a closer game than expected. I really, really do think it's going to be a pretty close game. I don't think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game. But it's going to be pretty close game. So let's go on to the Cowboys Week 6 predictions. Alrighty, my predictions for this game. I think the Cowboys are going to win. It's not going to be an easy win, like I've been saying. It's really going to come up to how this defense plays. If they can stop the run and they can force Bryce Young to throw the football and kind of force him into making those weird plays that he ends up making sometimes, I think we have a chance of winning. I think we have a pretty good chance of winning, actually. I think Dak Prescott's going to have himself a game in this game. I really don't see why Dak Prescott slows down against the Carolina Panthers defense. Tua Tagovailoa fried them. He had like 280 passing yards against them. I think it's going to be a huge game for Dak and Ferg. We saw Darren Waller go crazy against them last week. Against the Dolphins, against the Panthers last week. We saw Darren Waller have himself a game. I think Jay Ferguson can have a better game than that. He can have a really good game, if not an even better game than what Darren Waller had. I think Dak throws for about 310 passing yards. I think he throws for another 3 touchdowns. I think Ferg ends up getting like 11 receptions. I think it's going to be a pretty big receptions game. Like once again for Jake Ferguson. I think he has a couple of receptions. I think he gets 70 plus yards. I'll give him another touchdown. Why not? And another big thing is going to be just trying to establish the run against this Carolina Panthers defense. They have a good defensive front. They got Derek Brown leading that defense. They got some pretty good rookies on that defense as well. But if we can just establish the run, open up the play action, open up the pass with the play action, it should be another pretty convincing win from this Cowboys offense. And again, defensively, if we can just stop Rico Dowdle and then just force Bryce Young to throw the football, I think it's going to be it is going to be a easier game for this football team. So, yeah, I think final score predictions for me, it's going to be 34-28 Carolina. Again, I'm not super confident in how this defense is going to play against Rico. Just seeing how they played last week and how they've been playing these past couple of weeks. I feel like they haven't been great. They haven't been terrible, but they haven't been great against the run here. So I think Rico Dowdle probably has, I don't know, like 70 plus yards. I don't think it's in the end zone though. I don't think it's in the end zone. I think Bryce Young, fine. I don't know. Honestly, I this is just a random prediction because I really have no idea how this defense is gonna play. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be. I feel like the score is gonna be like 34-28. It's gonna be a pretty close, sort of high scoring type of game here. But yeah, with all that being said, man, that's gonna be the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had a good time with me here. Please support the boy, support the podcast, support the show. Drop a like, follow the IG, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I wanna start building these subscribers, man. We got like 20 some subscribers, dog. That's unacceptable, dog. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys had fun. And yeah, with all that being said, I love you guys. God bless each and every single one of you beautiful souls. And I'm out. Peace.